This is Dave, and I'm here with Ethan, and together we are Dave and Ethan's 2000-inch Weird Al podcast, episode 80-inch.
On this week's episode, we chat with Transformers Hotrod and Arcee, two members of the band, the Cybertronic Spree.
It's Dave and Ethan's 2000-inch Weird Al podcast.
It's a podcast about Weird Al.
It's Dave and Ethan's 2000-inch Weird Al podcast.
Seriously, the whole podcast is about Weird Al.
Dave and Ethan's 2000-inch Weird Al podcast.
You don't have to listen, but we're glad you are.
Dave and Ethan's 2000-inch Weird Al podcast.
We finally made it to the 80s. To help celebrate the 80s and bring me back to my childhood, I put on my neon pink slap bracelet, I cut my hair into a mullet, and I'm wearing my parachute pants. Ah, the 80s, good times. Ethan, what were you doing in the 80s?
Well, I wasn't born yet, so nothing.
You're wearing nothing? Well, good thing we're not a video podcast yet.
If you missed last week's episode, we spoke to Eric Andre Show head writer Dan Curry. And if you haven't watched the Eric Andre Show yet, you are missing out. I've been watching that nonstop, catching up. It is so funny. And if you don't have Hulu, you can always check out clips on YouTube.
I'm so glad that you mentioned YouTube because our intern Frank, he has been busy putting up every single one of our Inch episodes, including this one that you're listening to right now over on YouTube.
If you missed an episode or just want to go back and listen to them all again, or you're just one of those people who listens to stuff on YouTube, head on over to youtube.2000inch.com and you can subscribe for free.
Even though we just launched, we want to send a big thank you to our over 100 subscribers so far. I have faith that we will reach our goal of 2,000 subscribers in no time.
Just this week, Weird Al posted some exciting news over on his Twitter account. Now, he is donating his time for an incredible charity called Homes for Our Troops. It's a national nonprofit organization that benefits veterans. And for their Veterans Day celebrity auction, you have a chance to win a half-hour Zoom call with Weird Al Yankovic.
The auction runs from now through November 17th. You can check out all the items over at hfotusa.org. The Zoom call with Weird Al is already over $300. Do you think it's going to go for $2,000? I hope so. We'll have an update on next week's episode with the final result.
On Sunday, we received some very sad news. The long-running, incredible host of Jeopardy, Alex Trebek, has passed away.
Our condolences to Alex's family and friends. Now, obviously, Al has the song I Lost on Jeopardy from the Weird Al Yankovic in 3D album, which makes this extremely relevant to Weird Al fans, despite Al's song predating Alex Trebek as the host of Jeopardy. But Al's connection to Jeopardy and Alex Trebek goes even deeper.
Merv Griffin, who created and produced Jeopardy, has said on record that Al's song helped revive the show back in 1984.
While Al has never appeared on Jeopardy proper, back on March 20th, 2001, he was a contestant on the spin-off show Rock and Roll Jeopardy, which aired on VH1. Now, the show was not hosted by Alex Trebek. It was hosted by Jeff Probst, who, as of this recording, is still alive.
On Al's episode, he won $2,500, and they played the I Lost on Jeopardy music video during the end credits.
For the trivia portion of Al Fest back in 2009, Al performed an a cappella rendition of the iconic Final Jeopardy music. It's called Think. And back in 2005, he performed the accordion on a version of Think that was recorded for a Jeopardy TV commercial.
And for those of you who have seen Al in concert in the last decade, you know that Al frequently uses a clip from Jeopardy, including Alex Trebek, in his introductions to White and Nerdy.
Alex's list of film and television credits is quite extensive, and we're not going to try to make every single Al connection here. We're going to leave that for you to do back at home. But we did want to point out that he has a cameo in Spy Hard, which also stars Weird Al, namely singing the theme song.
And on the Weird Al Show, Alex Trebek made a cameo doing a commercial for the Know-It-All Correspondence School where you could take courses in molecular biology, aardvark training, belly button lint recycling, and more.
While it wasn't mentioned in the commercial during the Weird Al Show episode, sources tell us that there's another occupation for the Know-It-All Correspondence School. Burritoing Burrito Burritos. This week's episode is brought to you in part by vegan Mexican restaurant Burrito Burrito in Troy, New York, home of the 2-pound double wrapped in a quesadilla Burrito Burrito. Come on down to Burrito Burrito and Burrito Burrito, your Burrito Burrito. Find them at burritosquared.com and at Burrito Squared on Instagram. And remember, not every burrito is a burrito, but every burrito can be burritoed.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. From all of us at Dave and Ethan's 2000-inch Weird Al podcast, what is Rest in Peace, Alex?
Our guests this week originally hail from the planet Cybertron, but currently call Canada their home.
Dave and I are extremely excited to welcome the first non-human guests onto our podcast. They are two of the members of the Cybertronic Spree. Please welcome Hotrod and Arcee. How's it going?
What's up, Earth, and what's up to you as well. Thanks so much for having us on your program.
Hello, greetings.
It's so great to have you.
Great to be here, wherever we are. We don't even know where we are.
Yes, of course. Now, Cybertronic Spree is an incredible band. You guys are all Transformers. You do these amazing songs and covers. Can you just give us like a little history and a little explanation of the band for folks who are not familiar?
Yeah, well, we are your rock stars in disguise, and we're a bunch of Autobots, Decepticons, and I guess unaffiliated mechanical monsters. We just came together with the power of rock to melt your faces right off with our live show, which pays tribute to Transformers the movie, among other sort of 80s standards and staples. But just between us, we play whatever the hell we want, and we have a great time to do it. So,
And for the purposes of tonight, people might be wondering why we're in a band with, our enemies. Well, one of the common threads is obviously Weird Al. We all love Weird Al. So
there you go. That's how you get to be in the band.
Doesn't matter if you're Decepticon.
I mean, I was going to say, you got Autobots and Decepticons in the same band. How does that work? Do you guys get along all the time, or is there fights constantly?
Well, you know what? I think it's a good parallel to think. I mean, there is always fights. Always.
It's a band.
It's a band, right? But it's a lot like your planet, and you guys also have hey, even in America, you have Republicans and Democrats. Doesn't mean they can't do things together, right?
Yeah.
So we're just sort of like fighting the good fight.
Now, you both are on vocals. Hotrod, you play bass. Arcee, you're on synthesizers and keyboards. Where did you learn to play instruments, or is that just an inherent quality for beings of your type?
No, it was not inherent at all. There's no music on Cybertron worth a damn. It all sounds sort of like dial-up modem.
Okay.
Every song. Every song.
And if you saw our first show on Earth, you could probably tell that we hadn't played our instruments on Cybertron before.
Yeah.
It was new.
So we had to learn everything from scratch here, which was really, really challenging. And I think it was the only reason we decided to remain a band, because we were built for one night only. We thought, we're going to do a rock show, we're going to pay tribute to some of the all-time greats from Transformers the movie, and then go our separate ways, because again, not too many bands last, playing with your enemies. But the show was such a success, and we had such a great time. We decided to keep going, and the caveat I insisted on was that it couldn't suck anymore.
When did you all come from Cybertron to Earth?
Well, I mean, I guess back in '84 would probably be our first start.
Yeah, but as a band, we got here, in 2013?
Yeah, we started playing music in 2013. I was kind of, a bit down on my luck. I think Transformers in 2013,
it was not going well.
Not so great for the G1 and the robots. So I was kind of living like a lot of musicians, just kind of transformed in my car and, trying to find cheap parking. But I had this great idea of bringing the Transformers the movie soundtrack to life, with a bunch of Transformers. And I thought that was a great idea. And I pitched it around, and, all the cool robots said no. But
I'm going to ignore that comment.
Yeah, no, that's my job. I'm just ribbing you, Arcee. But we got an incredibly talented pool of robots who actually answered the call. And then we just combined with the power of rock.
It's amazing. You obviously spend a lot of time with Transformers 1986 soundtrack. Have you considered doing any of the Michael Bay film soundtracks?
No.
Yeah, that's an easy question. Eh?
And you know why that is? I can answer this for you, because there's no Weird Al on any of the Michael Bay soundtracks.
There we go.
That is correct. Yes, to keep this thematically appropriate, that is the reason.
Of course, that's the only reason. And obviously, to fans of Weird Al, to fans of Transformers, there's a lot in common. But obviously, the main overlap is, of course, Dare to Be Stupid being in the film and on the soundtrack. Was that your first introduction to Weird Al? Was through Dare to Be Stupid?
Interestingly enough, no. Weird Al is a phenomenon, even outside your small planet. So
I think he was naturalized in our auto bodies, like since we were
all just channeling that Al weirdness across the galaxy,
Yeah.
So I mean, that kind of stuff is rare. So yeah, Weird Al's pretty unique to us, and so it wasn't the first time, but it kicks it up a notch,
right?
In a way that it's such a great scene. It's such a great use of the song. The absurdity and the artistry is just wonderful. When we used to perform the song, we started playing the song, it was actually pretty intimidating. And so, we were still learning our instruments, and we had this great idea that we would incorporate a Weird Al lookalike into the show to play Weird Al for the night. And so all of the Weird Als that you see in the video have been Weird Als on stage with us performing the song live throughout our run.
Wow.
And so, everyone, it was cool. It was sort of like a hidden secret for the band to kind of, put our history into this video. And so, we managed to track down every single Al that we had done a show with who performed as Weird Al Yankovic and had them on in a cameo role. And here's the kicker, though. Are you ready?
Yes.
We didn't tell the Als that Weird Al was in the video.
So they didn't find out until we released the video.
Yeah.
Oh, that's incredible.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was the best prank ever. I mean, okay, so our band is about really two things. Well, maybe three. Weird Al Yankovic, because we're on this podcast. But secrets and alcohol. So on the secret side, we go all out, and so none of our Weird Als had any inkling that we would be doing this, and we had to keep the secret for about a year.
Over a year.
Yeah.
You filmed this back in 2019, I understand, correct?
Yeah, the halcyon days of 2019, where so bright, isn't it?
Yeah, the Weird Al footage was actually filmed first. So the stuff we did with the Weird Al Yankovic, we filmed first, and that was last summer. And then the stuff with our Weird Al lookalikes was filmed in the fall of 2019.
And then later into the spring and into the pandemic as we tracked them down. The film actually changed quite a bit with all the COVID pandemic happening.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely tempered a lot of what we wanted to do insofar as inserting cameos and having more people on set. I'm really proud of the work you did, Arcee. I think it was really well directed.
Yeah, and I don't know that we've addressed this in the interview, so I just want to put it out there that you guys very recently released, on Weird Al's birthday, a brand new music video for your cover of Dare to Be Stupid, and it is really phenomenal. As a fan of you guys and as a fan of Weird Al, it was just absolutely amazing with all the references and the awesome footage, and then, of course, as you mentioned, the actual cameo by Weird Al himself.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, we had such a blast making that video.
The best part was getting to watch Weird Al videos over and over again. And just like that was really why we did this.
Yeah, it's true. We had to do a lot of research because we came up with the concept right away. That was the easy part. But then the hard part was trying to match we thought of it almost like a retrospective of Weird Al's work and his legacy, and then just trying to kind of find slices that thematically fit or that we could build jokes around. and to, try and parody the parody king.
Right.
Wow. Hey, parody the king, you best not miss.
I mean, I count no less than 14 different references to Weird Al music videos in your one Dare to Be Stupid music video. So good job on that. I mean, you hit all of them, all the good ones. You hit White and Nerdy. You got Jurassic Park. I Lost on Jeopardy. Yeah. Fat. So many of the great classics in there. So what of those, which were some of your favorites to shoot? Definitely
the Jurassic Park, because I just loved seeing a little claymation hot rod get gobbled up by a
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. It was kind of nerve-wracking to animate because, dexterous things and robots, well, it's a thing. It sucks. But yeah, we finally got that shot in, and it looked great. I really loved the hernia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Living with a hernia parody. And that's actually our manager, Sean Hatton, and he's actually a big part of why this band exists, because I pitched the idea to him. He had a successful music night up in Toronto, Canada, called Nerd Noise Night, which takes place over Fan Expo weekend, and he agreed to let the boss on stage and basically, give us this performance with a large audience. And like we said earlier, we'd never really played our instruments before, so it's kind of like he was making a lot on stage there. But funny enough, having him in the role was really funny because he actually had a hernia.
Oh, wow.
The whole time.
Yeah.
Talk about committing for your part there. Wow.
That's it.
Method acting.
Absolutely. We did try to tailor the cameos to like the specific Weird Al's we had on each spot. Like, so I Lost on Jeopardy Weird Al, that's the word burglar, and he's an awesome rapper from Toronto. And we thought, like, of course he's going to be in I Lost on Jeopardy because he burgles words.
Right.
So it's a perfect match.
Yeah, all the Als that we worked with in the video, I mean, they're all coming from like a crazy disparate, backgrounds. Some of them are comedians, musicians, just like fine artists. There's even our now award-winning Jason Liu.
Yep.
And he just won the
Eisner Award.
Wow.
For Afterlife.
Yeah. Book artist,
wow. Yeah, what a talented guy.
How cool.
So yeah, it was really just such a great coming together. But I mean, that's kind of the story of our band as well, right? A lot of robots, we don't really get along. We each have our own experiences and things, but that's not to say that each robot isn't supremely talented. And that's kind of what I think holds it together, is there's so much to enjoy about how awesome these bots are.
In the music video, not only does Weird Al make a cameo, but he is the director of your music video. What kind of direction does Weird Al Yankovic give to robots?
Yeah, so, we did, of course, everything perfect the first time, but RC, who was our de facto director, ended up giving direction to Weird Al Yankovic, which, you know what? It was a sight for optics, let me tell you. See RC actually give Weird Al direction in this little video was very, very warming.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably no surprise that Weird Al didn't actually direct the music video, and also he didn't put his name to it. He wanted to be Weird Al and Spree.
Yes.
So I get it. We're weird. We're a different kind of weird.
To be fair, Weird Al was incredibly generous because we came to him, we already had the idea fleshed out, but like RC mentioned, it was the first thing that we shot. So we knew we had a great punchline at the end of our film, but we still had a film to make. And so it was, in a way, it was asking a lot of Al because he's going to be associated with this thing.
That hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, it hasn't happened at all. So yeah, he's very generous. He took a real chance, and then yeah, I think he was very pleased with it, which was I mean, obviously that was the biggest compliment that we could ask for.
And yeah, we were so blown away when we met him, and we showed him like the storyboard, and we talked about what we were doing, and he walked in and he did the scene, and we were like, oh my God, it's perfect. Like, he nailed it right off the top. So for posterity, we were like, I guess we'll do a few more takes. Spend some more time with Al.
Right. That was in Toronto on his Strings Attached tour, right?
That is correct. Yes, it luckily worked out that we were able to schedule it the same day as his performance, and so yeah, we went into this whole process was quite miraculous, really, because we had a bunch of different ideas of how we could potentially work with Al, and so there was a lot of back and forth, but of course, just the logistics of it was the biggest hurdle. So having Al actually come to Toronto for his Strings Attached tour was perfect timing, in the sense that at least we could just kind of see what we could get right then and there.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you can't hear it, but this was probably the most nerve-wracking part of the whole film, was the fact that, okay, so we've got some time with Weird Al before his Strings Attached show. However, his orchestra, the strings that are attached, they're warming up right on the other side of where we're shooting. So there's 60 to 100 stringed instruments, and they're all tuning and warming up, and then they start performing, and we're on the other side of a wall going, I really hope this doesn't get picked up in the mics, because it's going to ruin this really important cameo.
Right.
And so, yeah, I think we do a few takes, and then our sound guy would go, okay, cut, stop. They're playing Indiana Jones in the Temple of Doom. And then we'd like reset and do it. But I mean, we had such a blast, and I mean, Arcee and I stuck around, and we got to see the performance that night too. So it was one of those days that, I don't think I'm gonna forget in my memory bank.
It was amazing.
Now, I was actually at that show. I did not see any Transformers in the audience. Were you guys backstage, or how did that work?
No, we blend in really well.
Yeah,
okay.
No, we were there.
Okay.
I mean, there was a lot of people there. There were.
That's true.
It
was a big place. It was a big place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really great show.
He also had like all of those Star Wars. He had a bunch of droids running around, like the 501st was there. So you know what? We probably got mixed in with those. That's what I'm thinking.
That makes sense. I did. Yeah, I thought one of the stormtroopers looked a little off. They were all pink, so that makes sense.
It was long day.
It's because I wasn't short.
How well do you guys get along with the Star Wars characters?
Oh, hey, they've been great. Like 501st and a lot of things. We do we've done a lot of conventions. That's sort of where we started picking up steam as a band. And honestly, I mean, it's such a great community of creative people coming together to just celebrate things they like. So, I mean, right off the bat, you just get into all sorts of amazing and weird scenarios. I remember this one convention we were at, we managed to unintentionally piss off a whole clan of Klingons. And well, okay, we just done the show, and then these Klingons are all there. They've all been drinking, and they're like, we're gonna go out for drinks. We want to do karaoke with you guys. Yeah. And we were like, that sounds amazing. All right, let's do it. But it's tough being a musician, because they still got to pack up all the equipment. You got to do all this tear down and stuff.
Of course,
yeah. And so we didn't finish until pretty late. Anyways, we ended up standing up the Klingons. Like we just couldn't help it, and we didn't have any of their contact info, so we couldn't reach out to them to be like, "Yo, this is just not happening tonight." So, man, the amount of abuse we had, like, this was a tense diplomatic situation.
Because the next morning, somehow they found us, and they were waiting by our van when we were like getting ready to leave. They were out there waiting by our van, kind of like punching their fist, and we were like, "Oh my god, okay, we gotta go." We got to just jump in the van and get out of here.
Now they weren't real Klingons. They were people dressed up as Klingons.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I can't really tell. Like humanoids, kind of look, fleshy things.
Yeah.
They got, the 2 arms, 2 legs.
They were drinking like Klingons.
Yeah,
Okay.
they definitely drank like Klingon.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about what it was like. I mean, you told us a little bit about what it was like working with Weird Al, but how long was he there, working with you? How long did he have to prepare for his little scene in your music video?
So the window was pretty small. So yeah, it was quite a process just whittling down our joke, because we had a bunch of different jokes that we could have, wrapped up this film idea with. And so I think even the day of, we had 4 or 5 different scenarios that, depending on what the conditions were like at the venue, we would film. Like, that's the level of preparedness
Wow.
that we robots take with making art. We were just like, take no chances.
Right.
So I think it was like we were rolling, from the moment I transformed, we were rolling. And just because we weren't sure what kinds of interruptions, is always very limited, especially being out on the road. And so just kind of being cognizant of that.
For Weird Al, who
yeah,
was touring.
Exactly. So he's touring. And so I think when he came on set, he had literally just got out of the shower.
Yeah. I mean, he in another room.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He wasn't showering in front of us.
Oh, okay. Thanks for clarifying.
Or maybe we should say he was. I mean, that's a weird thing that would be Weird Al-ish, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah. You guys are robots. It's you can shower in front of you. There's nothing weird there, right?
Yeah, we just power down. It's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a short window of time with him, but we were so prepared that it ended up feeling longer than we expected.
Okay.
Because we were like, oh wow, like we did it, like.
Yeah.
Cool.
And the whole scene without Weird Al was shot before Weird Al arrived on set. So it was literally, we needed Al for one shot. And we had multiple cameras. We had everything ready. So we tried to make it as unobtrusive as possible because, again, like, it is not easy trying to tour, especially not with an orchestra and everything else.
Right,
So
right.
yeah, it was we were quite lucky in that respect. It was, yeah, sort of kismet that it all worked out. And yeah, I mean, because we had even discussed with Al the possibility of doing just a remote shoot where he would film himself, and then we could basically build our joke around that sort of thing, and we could afford to get a little bit more involved with him.
Right.
But we realized, because there were going to be a bunch of other Weird Als in the video, the best joke would really rely on the fact that he would literally be there, and that there would be no trickery. It would be
Right.
absolutely no mistaking. It's not a deep fake or a lookalike. You really wanted. I mean, you're getting pretty good with those deep fakes. I've got to be honest.
Yeah. Watch out, or those deep fakes. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, especially with Transformers, depending on the website you go to, you can see some really interesting, not real Transformer pictures. Now, I had a question about your amazing Kickstarter. So I was a Kickstarter backer.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, I was so thrilled to get it. And of course, you were hugely successful. You funded your first full-length album, the Transformers 1986 soundtrack, just a complete track-by-track cover of the entire album. I've backed a lot of Kickstarters, and you guys were very on point with the updates and getting us all the information. So that was really great. One thing I saw after the fact was that you guys had these clear pink cassette tapes, and I was wondering, is that something that was limited, or I just want to try and get one for my collection. I was wondering if you guys could share some information about that.
Well, thank you. First of all, thank you so much for backing the project. It was amazing. I mean, we built that budget so lean because we really wanted to just put it out whatever way, and so it was wonderful to see the support from fans of Transformers the movie, and so it really did drive us to do the best we could and not have really any excuses. And I mean, I'm really proud of how we ran that campaign. It was our first one, but hey, just like with Weird Al's video, we were prepared, and we worked really hard on that. Kind of pride ourselves on that. I mean, as so far as the the cassette, yes, we did have some cassettes made for it, and I guess right now we just haven't been shipping them out. During the pandemic, we really wanted to ease off on taking up space in mail, because there was lots of vital material moving around on your planet, supply lines.
Of course.
So we just felt that we just didn't want to get into too much of that, and so we also do pride ourselves on the live experience, which is seeing our shows, and that's really what this band is all about, more so than recorded music, although that may change, in that it is the experience of coming to the show and hanging out with a bunch of bots and having this crazy night, that really we feel is what we're about. And so a lot of our merchandise we exclusively sell at shows for that reason.
Okay.
We have just a few cassettes left, because I believe they were for like a certain tier and up backers.
Yes.
And so we have a few like buffer cassettes left that we were planning on like bringing to our tour, like on tour with us.
Yeah.
And then having a few for sale each night. We still have those, and we're gonna hang on to them.
Yeah, and
so that when we tour again.
Yeah, that's right. So there's definitely going to be an opportunity to get them. The other thing that we talked about is obviously looking at the length of what this pandemic has built itself into. It looks like we're also discussing the possibility of making some of these items available without the live performance, just as a stopgap for folks who want to continue to support the band. And so yeah, it's all, we're still fighting about this. Once this is done, we'll have more.
That's really cool. I mean, you guys came out with these really cool record pressings.
Yeah.
I know Dave and I, we were super thrilled to pick those up. Those are very cool.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks so much. Wow.
That was through Enjoy the Ride, and like we got to give them credit. Like they made it look really cool. Like the vinyl itself looks so cool.
We did get to pick the color.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We
okay. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. And we also have we have an exclusive variant for the tour when that finally happens, which is kind of awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very cool.
Yeah.
But it's a very limited.
But it's very limited. It's like maybe 50 records. Yeah. But you know what? That was another really wildly successful thing. Like Enjoy the Ride approached us to do it, and we just didn't want to build that into the Kickstarter because it was just crossing too many streams in terms of licensing and whatnot. So we knew we had to hold off until after the Kickstarter had wrapped, which was such a horror to try, not to spoil the surprise for vinyl fans who were supporting the Kickstarter. But it was also, being our first campaign, it was just one of those, okay, now we're truly getting overwhelmed with this response and trying to sort it through it. It was hilarious. Enjoy the Ride was great. And with that selling out, I know they're eager to work with us again on another record, which is very exciting.
Very cool.
We're definitely looking forward to another pressing.
And as another stopgap, I understand you guys on December 11th, you're going to be putting on a virtual concert. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. This is going to be our performance of 2020. We haven't performed since 2019.
Wow.
And I think we postponed the dates that we had for our first North American tour 2 weeks before, I think it was lockdown here in Canada.
The official lockdown. Yeah.
And so it was really we were hearing a lot about what was going on in the States, and I think you guys had hot spots popping up first
on the
before.
West Coast.
Yeah, on the West Coast.
We had some friends over there too telling us what was happening.
Yeah, so it was one of those, is this going to be a thing? And then all of a sudden it's like, yep, all bets are off.
Wow.
So it was quite, it was quite an upheaval for all of us because I think we'd all worked very hard to kind of put this together, building off the momentum of the Kickstarter from 2019.
Yep.
So yeah, it was a thing, but what we realized, what we thought maybe perhaps this would have been brought to heel by December, because you know what, we're all Optimus Primes here. We're not a bunch of Negatrons, right? We're like, the humans. They're so they're funny. They got cool music. They can figure this out.
Yeah.
But you know what?
They didn't. It's fun. Okay.
Yeah, it's tough.
That's where we're at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, just roll with it. So
Right.
we were just like, all right, it's not happening. We want to make sure that, we don't want to do a show where everybody's obviously more concerned about their health or being close to other people or all that other stuff. We were like, no, come on, we're going to party like it's 1986. None of that should matter. So I think we can wait until we can actually do it right. And that's what we prefer. It's like, let's start this tour on the right foot and make it so that everybody can enjoy it and just have a night off. And man, is that going to be a thing once, this pandemic has been brought to heel. Because I feel like a lot of people are going to want to go out and celebrate a lot.
Yes.
But in the meantime, we do have this live stream that, we are so excited about it because we get to play, and that's like why we came to Earth. So we've kind of lost our way,
Yeah.
Like, why are we here? But it's going to be so much fun. And people now are sort of in the groove of enjoying things from home. So I think everyone will be, ready to party with us virtually, and it's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, we're going to have a great time. This live stream is to make up for all the suckiness of 2020.
Yeah.
And we can't do it. Obviously, it's impossible.
Yeah.
But our goal, our mission is to make it less sucky.
Yeah.
And I can guarantee it'll make 2020 at least a little bit less sucky.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really awesome. We're partnering with Jim Beam, which, hey, we enjoy alcohol a lot. And it's something you enjoy at home as well. So we're thinking there's a great sort of synergy with that.
Wow,
and then we're also partnering for a good cause. This live stream is to help raise money for the Princess Margaret Foundation, which is a cancer research organization
and a hospital
here in Toronto. So it's for a good cause as well. It gets us out of the shuttle. We can blow off a little steam and fight it out on stage, which is always good to do. So I think it's just a win-win-win thing. And we're super excited to put something together for December 11th.
Now we got to know, what are the odds that we will get to hear Dare to Be Stupid on this live stream?
We'd be stupid not to play it.
Okay.
I gotta be real with you. That's the last song we played a lot together, because we shot that in November.
Oh right, yeah.
We shot at the end of November 2019.
That's
and
the least rusty.
It's
of
the
our
least
songs.
rusty. So we played it for 8 hours. Eight.
Yeah, it was 8 hours straight for that film shoot. Yeah.
Wow.
So we should job with that.
Yeah, that's easy.
Awesome. Have you ever done another Weird Al cover?
We've talked about it, because that's the thing about what we kind of built our show around is, we started with Transformers the movie, but we really knew as soon as we did it that really it's about kind of connecting to a larger sort of platform and a larger audience through way of shared sort of nerdy fascination.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys probably know this. If you enjoy music at all, the biggest nerds on earth are musicians. Let's be honest here. All classic rock. There's a plethora of bands who have molded themselves around the fantastic and the weird. And we are really about celebrating that. So I think Transformers was the starting point, but it's all about kind of connecting it to themes or imagery that's important to us, and to kind of showcase that or show it in a new light, or connect it to a community that we think would appreciate it. So yeah, it was literally our second show where we're like, cool, what's next? and we started adding, One Punch Man. We're doing anime theme songs. We're doing other cartoon shows. And then really it was like about time for the immigrant song because thematically it was appropriate.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's sort of like we continue to provide a mixtape for nerds, I guess. And that's kind of like where we like to sit insofar as how we choose what songs to do next. And not to say that Al wouldn't resonate in that scenario, but it's also one of those things where it's like, man, what's better to play than Dare to Be Stupid from Al's catalog? It's such a good song.
I mean, to be fair, like, and we're not adding this to our set because we're just not, but we love, Hot Rod and I love singing First Row Problems.
Yeah, okay, that's pretty good.
Okay.
I mean, it's applicable.
No, it is. That's
we
why.
have fun singing it.
Yeah, it's an amazing song.
And it's one of his, like, it's in the vein of Dare to Be Stupid, where it's like one of his original songs, even though it's like, I guess, in the vein of the Pixies.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I love it. I love it.
And I think that's kind of where we really find the genius of Al, is in not only just parodying someone else's song, but being able to write original songs in someone else's style.
Yeah.
Which Dare to Be Stupid, right? The Devo right there, which Devo is another real important band for us, which I'm sure we're going to have a cover in there sometime.
Yeah.
Awesome. I was going to ask you, in any of your travels, have you ever been to the planet of Junkion and run across a Transformer Autobot called Wreck-Gar?
Oh, yeah. Of course. Yeah, no, Wreck-Gar is amazing. And, we talked about one of the ideas obviously this was pie in the sky, but we talked about getting a Wreck-Gar costume built for Weird Al Yankovic.
Wow.
Because that really, if you think about it, that would have been the ultimate sort of
like where
cameo.
He lifts the head off.
Right? And then you're like, oh my God, it's Weird Al. So yeah, that was one of the jokes that we had, but just,
You couldn't do that to him though.
That was it. It was like, there's so many Als. It's just funnier to have Al at the end. And yeah, so logistically there was a lot of hurdles, and I think it would have been great, but that also leaves the possibility of a sequel open, doesn't it? Wow.
Always leaves the sequel possible.
So Weird Al Yankovic, if you're listening, just give us your measurements, man.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned you're calling from Canada. I know, once you came to Earth, you did sort of end up in Canada at one point. And I wanted to point out a couple...
My bad.
wanted to point out a couple things I noticed. In the music video for Dare to Be Stupid, it goes really quick, so anyone watching, you have to pause it. But when the Word Crimes parody comes up with the hashtag Canadian Idiot, there's some really great in-jokes for Canadians on there. And I noticed that you actually added a word to Dare to Be Stupid, and when Al typically just says, I can't hear you, Hot Rod, you sing, sorry, I can't hear you. And I thought that was a great Canadian touch to add.
Oh, thanks. Yeah,
Thank
it
you.
was, honestly, we love making fun of Canadians as much as Americans. And I think that, it was just our way of going, like, putting our little spin on it. Because, we happen to reside here in Canada. It's weird because we're really an American band, just happen to live in Canada.
Right.
It was my fault. I just dipped the shuttle in a little early, and I got excited. It's fine, but we were almost in Detroit, so next time.
Yeah, it was the Canadian Idiot and Word Crimes thing. I was really insistent on putting that in because the sorry moment of our song always makes me laugh. So.
Well, and it's great because like we'll play in America and we'll be like, oh, hey, your planet is billions upon billions of kilometers away, and the audience starts laughing at you. It's just
kilometers,
right? I mean, that's kind of like these little anachronistic Earth things are kind of what, I don't know. I find them hilarious and amusing, right?
And I mean, we've picked up the inflections of Canadians, so we do say sorry a lot. And I mean, we traveled a lot in the U.S. last year, and we just love how entertained Americans are when they hear us say sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, can you say it again? Can you say it again? Sorry, I guess so.
You're really good at that. I have this problem where when we're in America, I unintentionally my servos loosen a bit. You get a little bit more like A's instead of O's, and about, and just a little bit more of a draw kind of creeps in there.
He tries to blame me.
I don't. I'm not trying. I hate that it happens, but it's totally just like it's obvious malware. I can't purge it. It just happens.
Rumble hits the reset button, but it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So for your album cover, you had a poster designed by Tim Doyle of Nakatomi, and he also did some Weird Al concert posters for the Strings Attached store, the VIP. So what was it like working with Tim?
Well, Tim's a great guy. He's one of our very first supporters. He just really loved what the band was about and what we were doing. And so
he made us a poster in 2014 when we still sucked.
We first started, and
Yeah.
Tim was like right on board, and he was like, "Oh, can I make a poster for you guys?" And we're like, "Sure." We thought of some of the bands on Earth that we really admire, and we were like, "Hey, why not a Guns N' Roses shirt?" And so he did an Instruments of Destruction in the style of Guns N' Roses. Which was an amazing exclusive T-shirt that we did, and limited poster.
Yeah, so when we did our Kickstarter, and we wanted to offer some really cool stuff, we're like, who does cool posters? Well,
Tim.
So yeah, we had seen some of his he's done another Transformers poster that was just like beautiful.
Oh, it's the change into a truck.
Well, no, change into a truck, but also one with like Megatron.
Oh, true. Yeah. He did a lot of that.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, no,
so.
Tim's art was great, and the fact that he was already working with Al on the posters and working with a bunch of other artists who were paying homage for the Strings Attached tour.
Yeah.
It just felt like such a wonderful Easter egg within an Easter egg within an Easter egg, and again, like that's what our band is all about.
And so last year we had the opportunity to meet him for the first time.
Oh, true. Yeah.
And we visited his print shop, and
Wow.
he gifted us the Weird Al poster that actually appears in the video because it hangs up in our headquarters here.
Wow.
So yeah.
That's so awesome.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
it's pretty cool.
This has been such a blast getting to chat with both of you, Hotrod and Arcee. We love your music. We love the Cybertronic Spree. And we really urge everyone to check out your live stream concert coming up on December 11th. And we're sure, you've already confirmed it, that we will hear Dare to Be Stupid on that one. And if for some reason that one of our listeners has not yet watched the Dare to Be Stupid music video you put out, they need to get on that because it's incredible. And it's a must watch for any fan of Transformers or Weird Al or just pop culture in general.
Well, thanks so much for having us on. It's been a blast chatting with you guys. And we're looking forward to virtually seeing people on December 11th, and more so in 2021 when we can rock out in style.
And also, thank you for doing the good work of, getting the word of Al out there.
Thanks so much to Hotrod and Arcee for joining us. That was so much fun.
I can't believe we got to talk to real Transformers.
I can't believe we got to talk to somebody from the planet Cybertron.
It's so awesome. Thank you so much to you bots for joining us. And we can check them out on their website, thecybertronicspree.com/thecybertronicspree on Facebook and YouTube, Cybertronic Band on Instagram and Twitter, and be sure to check out thecybertronicspree.bandcamp.com to purchase their awesome music.
And this is so cool because now I have plans for December 11th. I'm so going to tune into their live stream concert. For information and tickets, you can check out livefrominside.ca.
Dave, we should totally have a watching party for this.
I think you read my mind because I was just about to say the same thing.
Yeah, so what we'll do, we'll figure it out closer to the date, but we'll invite all of our listeners to hang out, and we'll, obviously we'll all pay for our own tickets, and we're going to watch the concert in another window or, another monitor device, and then we will have a Zoom conference just going so we can all chat and hang out. So stay tuned. We'll have more information closer to December 11th.
Awesome. I'm so excited to get to see the Cybertronic Spree in concert. This week's episode is brought to you in part by Discover Darwin, promoting tourism in Darwin, Minnesota. Not only is historic Darwin, Minnesota, beautiful, it's also municipal.
Yes, Darwin, Minnesota is home to Darwin Municipal Liquor Store. You know they're good because, according to Facebook, they are 5 out of 5 stars, based on the opinion of one person.
Also, you can tell that they care about their customers most of all, even more than accurately spelling words on their online descriptions.
Yes, they are too busy for grammar.
Obviously not fans of Weird Al's word crimes.
They are too busy for proper grammar because they're keeping customers like Misty Rose happy, who, on December 25th, 2018, took time away from celebrating the Lord's Day with her family to write on their Facebook page, "Great place, always friendly, great sales, and convenient location."
So visit Darwin, Minnesota on your next expedition. Discover Darwin, more than just the twine ball. And after you visit Darwin, be sure to visit their website, discoverdarwin.biz.
Each week, we can bring you this podcast absolutely free thanks to sponsors like Burrito, Angel Valenzuela and his son David Cash, Discover Darwin, Jackson Scoggins, and our amazing Patreon supporters like Vicky, Blair, and so many more.
Revenue from our incredible supporters over on patreon.com/2000inch is how we can afford to continue doing what we love, which is making fantastically fun, funny, and family-friendly Weird Al podcasts for you each and every week. We'd absolutely appreciate your consideration in joining our pretty stinking majestic Patreon family for as little as $1 per month.
Another way to support the podcast is to pick up and wear merchandise from the official Dave and Ethan's 2000-inch Weird Al podcast merchandise shop. Head over to shop.2000inch.com for t-shirts, tote bags, mugs, face masks, and more.
Find us online at weirdalpodcast.com or 2000inch.com, and please join our Facebook group by heading on over to group.2000inch.com for episode discussions and other exclusive content. Don't forget to tag fun Weird Al or podcast-related posts on social media using hashtag 2000inch and hashtag Gil and Chill. And follow us at 2000inch on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Make sure to share our posts, tell your friends about the podcast, and we love it when you leave us voicemail via our 27-hour-a-day podcast hotline, 347 Spatula. You might even hear your message on the air. The 347 Spatula Hotline, the official hotline of Dave and Ethan's 2000-inch Weird Al podcast, is sponsored by Angel Valenzuela and David Cash, two amazing Weird Al fans and podcast supporters.
You already know where to find us, but do yourselves a favor and head on over to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Amazon Music, or the podcast app of your choice and hit the subscribe button to ensure that you don't miss new episodes. New episodes drop every Wednesday.
Don't forget, you can easily listen to every episode and check out our past guests on 2000inch.com or WeirdAlPodcast.com. Plus, now you can appreciate our intern Frank's hard work by also heading to youtube.2000inch.com as yet another way to catch back episodes.
Thanks again to this week's guests, Hotrod and Arcee from the Cybertronic Spree. And thanks to all of our listeners, subscribers, Patreon supporters, and sponsors, and everyone who made this episode and podcast possible.
I've got an idea. Let's play Jeopardy!
Good idea. I'll take Transformers for $27.
Answer. The voice actor who portrayed Wreck-Gar in episode 20 of the Transformers animated cartoon.
Who is Mitsuo Iwata?
Correct. He's the Japanese voice actor who portrayed Wreck-Gar in the episode Garbage In, Garbage Out.
That was Dave and Ethan's 2000-inch Weird Al podcast, episode 80-inch. The podcast where Portugal the Man agreed that Atlantic Records sucks.
Thank Thank you for doing the good work of getting the word of Al out there. It's really appreciated.
Absolutely.